morning, everyone. I'm Andrew HAWES, the president of the Housing Partnership. On behalf of HPI's Board of Directors and Board Chair Clay Stinnett, I welcome you here today for this celebration of the ribbon cutting of Middletown Apartments. The Housing Partnership is a local nonprofit affordable housing development company. Nearly 30 years ago, the first class of the Bingham Fellows, now Leadership Louisville, proposed forming the Housing Partnership to address the affordable housing needs in Louisville. The purpose of HPI was to bring together bankers, builders, government officials, and civic leaders to build affordable housing. Today, we gathered to do that very thing at this ribbon cutting ceremony for Middletown Apartments. Middletown Apartments is an 80-unit multifamily development consisting of 20 one-bedroom apartments, 40 two-bedroom apartments, and 30 three-bedroom apartments. As of today, we have 56 of the units fully leased and occupied, and we're working with another 22 families who will be able to sign their leases in the very near future. This project is extremely special, not only from the great construction outcomes that we have, but based on the location of this property. Each family will have access to 3 of the top performing schools in Louisville, Kentucky: Eastern High School, Crosby Middle School, and Height Elementary School. Additionally, in close proximity, employment centers, along with access to public transportation, will allow families to live near where they work. There's plenty of commercial shopping opportunities, dining options, as well as grocery stores and medical service providers. The total development cost of Middletown Apartments is a little more than $16.2 million of an investment into the Middletown community. With Middletown Apartments, HPI's portfolio crosses the 1,500 unit benchmark, which is an accomplishment all of our community leaders should be proud of for creating the organization that could produce these results. Over the past 29 years, HPI has been involved in every facet of affordable housing, from providing homebuyer education, budget and credit counseling, providing foreclosure prevention services, to developing single and multifamily housing, to providing property management services, as well as single-family construction and realty services. As HPI continues to grow, we gain greater capacity to do impactful work through our communities with developments like this and throughout our additional collaborative efforts with our partners. We are proud to be able to provide housing options for formerly homeless veterans through our participation in Operation Victory and through our Beyond Ninth initiative that will be addressing vacant and abandoned properties and housing in West Louisville at scale in the years to come. I want to especially thank Mr. Harry Duff. Mr. Duff and his family are here today. They were the former owners. The former owners of this property, and it was great working with him on this transaction. We got to know Mr. Duff a little throughout this process and learned some history on the property. And he was shared with us that he had planted that large poplar tree at the front of the property many years ago, and it's a great remembrance from him. And we definitely wanted to save that tree through the development process. And to honor his family, we named this connecting road Poplar Leaf Way. Thank you, Mr. Duff. Developing high-quality, affordable housing could not be possible without our partners. And there's plenty of people and organizations I need to thank and recognize, beginning with HOPA Kentucky for providing HPI with the funding necessary to do the initial land acquisition and be able to meet the timeframes. Billy Wade's executive director, and Tammy Nichols. The Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which provided very critical resources to the development in the form of a $250,000 flexible loan that we will be repaid in full throughout this development process. I want to recognize CHRISTIE, executive director, and Tanya Montgomery. Louisville Metro Government for creating and funding the Louisville CARES program, which provided $850,000 of additional capital, which was needed to make this project feasible. Recognize Marilyn Harris and Mayor Fischer and his team for their excellent efforts in continuing to provide resources. Cub Bank, could not do it and say enough about Cub Bank and their support for the housing partnership. They provided the project a first mortgage loan of over $3.6 million. I'm recognizing David Boland, the CEO of Cub Bank, and Tammy Thomas, who's here with us today. And Kentucky Housing Corporation, always Kentucky Housing Corporation. Through Kentucky Housing, we were able to receive $1.248 million in affordable housing tax credits through a successful application round. It's an extremely awesome resource. It's a very impactful resource to be able to produce these quality affordable units throughout the state. Unfortunately, as with many other programs, funding is short and it's very competitive. So we should feel very blessed to have received this, and we do. Thank you. TRACY THURSTON, Managing Director. PNC Bank, can't say enough about PNC Bank. They're a great partner to HPI and a great partner to Louisville with their continued investments in affordable housing throughout our community. PNC Bank is the purchaser of the tax credits, and they provided the project with over $11.5 million of tax credit equity, which allows us to offset much of the development costs to be able to charge lower rents to make it affordable to the families who will live here. Not only did PNC Bank provide the tax credit equity, they wanted to really partner with us because everybody knew this was going to be a special project. So they provided HPI with additional funding for pre-development expenses as well as construction loans. We're extremely thankful of that partnership, and Chuck Denny is here from PNC, and he'll speak in just a minute. I want to thank Ryan Edwards as well, who helped us originate the credits. So the financing partners, by all means, are extremely critical. But once we get the hard work done of getting the money secured, that's when the real work begins. And I can't say enough about our general contractor, Bossy Construction, Boyd Bossy President, Bob Bennett's with us here today, project manager, and David Kwaka, the on-site construction manager. They worked every day throughout this construction process. During the 2008, when it was the wettest year on record for the city of Louisville, and they managed that process and minimized the construction delays. And then entering into 2019, which is already on pace to surpass 2018, they continue to keep the project on track. And it's in its final stages, and we should be 100% complete in the next few weeks. And I also want to recognize and thank the Sarabi Group, Homer Sarabi, who was our owner's rep from construction management. He brought a level of experience and coordination to HPI that allowed us to definitely feel like we were on top of the project and keeping it moving. He's made some heroic efforts near at the end to try to pull some timing concerns away from us. And our architects, Kersey and Kersey, Steve Kersey, who's here, who really worked with us and the mayor of Middletown in getting our design to where it is today, and bringing in some of the local flavors and the expectations. Steve and his team did a fantastic job, and I'm sure if you go through these units, you'll be extremely impressed. Engineering, Sabak and Wilson Lingo, Pat Dominic, and Matt Wolf. They were a tremendous asset in the early stages of this as we were evaluating this property, evaluating the water flow, and I just can't speak enough about that. So that's enough for me. I'm going to pass it off and let some of the other very critical partners come up and say a few words as well. So we'll start with CHRISTIE McCRAVY with Louisville Trust Fund.
So good morning. And I am just ecstatic and just thankful that we are able to get here today. It's really a blessing to be able to be involved in a project such as this. This is what housing choice looks like. Middletown is a very affluent area, but this is what housing choice looks like. And if you look around and you look at the jobs that are in the area, yes, we're close to the employment centers or what have you, but there are a lot of jobs that don't pay a lot of money, let's be honest. The wages are such that projects like this belong here. And we are so thankful and so grateful that we had HPI to take the lead to put together the resources. And we're happy to be a resource for projects like this, but we're happy that you called on us to be involved in this kind of project. When our entire community thrives, then we all can thrive. You know, one sector cannot be disinvested in while others are thriving. But if we want to say that Louisville is a model for the entire country, then we must do more projects such as the Middletown Apartments. So I am excited and I am thankful that we were able to provide that gap funding. I'm thankful to our mayor who has had the commitment to providing funding for affordable housing over the last 4 years. I know he's going to say over more than $40 million. And, you know, because of that, we've gotten 22 of that, and we have been able to preserve or assist in the creation of over 2,000 units of housing in this community. So thank you, Mayor Fischer. Thank you, HPI. And I am happy for the families that will have the opportunity to drive up to this beautiful housing development, because no one will know the difference of whether this is affordable or whether it is a market rate housing development. Again, this is what housing choice looks like. Thank you.
Thank you, Christie. We truly appreciate our partnership. Next, I'd like to introduce Tammy Thomas, the Senior Vice President with Cub Bank, to say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. First of all, how about this cloud cover we've had so far and a breeze? I wasn't expecting that this morning. Thankful for it. First to say, Christie, I guess you read my notes, except I really don't have notes, so I guess you read my mind. Exactly what I was wanting to focus on is the idea that a choice for people that work in this very, as you use the word, affluent community, but don't, maybe they're entry-level jobs and they have to commute from a long ways away to work out here because they had nowhere to live that was affordable. And what a big deal it is to now have something here. I've been in this industry over 30 years. I started really, really young. And you don't know what a big deal it is. I've worked for both state government, federal government, and now for a bank. And what a big deal it is to see something like this in a community such as Eastern Louisville, Middletown. This just doesn't happen every day. And it's been a lot of long, hard fights and things never come to realization sometimes, but this one has. We're very proud to be a part of it. As Andy mentioned, we're going to be the permanent lender on this, so we're going to be with HPI for at least 15 years. So that's good or bad, Andy, but we're going to be in it with you all, and I'm sure it'll look this good 15 years from now. They'll do a great job managing it, and not only do we want to be a partner with HPI over these years, but we hope to be a partner with the tenants as well. As many of you know, we have a branch just right across the street, and we hope to be able to be a partner with the tenants and provide services for them that they may need, financial advice, financial services, and we make ourselves available to that as well. We've got a great team up at the branch to help them with that. So once again, we want to thank everybody. The partnership with HPI is a long time for us. Cub's been doing affordable housing since the late 90s and been working with HPI many years, and we really are happy and thankful for that partnership. Also, Louisville Cares, Mayor Fischer, thank you for letting us be a part of this and for your all's contribution. Also, CHRISTIE and Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and also with PNC, thank you all, Chuck, for that. We appreciate all the partnerships and hope to do many more of these. And once again, you all go tour the units, and I think you will see what Christie said. You really don't know the difference. So thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thank you, Tammy. I'd next like to invite Chuck Denny, the Regional President of PNC Bank. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is truly a great day. A lot of us may live in this area and around Middletown, and I grew up in Louisville, lived here all my life, and this is one of the highest points. I mean, you see the water tower, water tanks over there. Water tanks are built on the highest parts of the county. This is one of the highest elevations in the county, and This is really a crown jewel. It's been built here for our citizens, our fellow teammates in this journey of Louisville, Kentucky, to make our city even more stronger than it is today. And Louisville's one of the great cities in our country. It's Mayor Fischer, thank you for your leadership. We're really on a roll on so many fronts, and this is all part of it. We have got to take care of our fellow citizens, provide access to quality housing. This is just fabulous. These are fabulous homes, but the proximity to 3 excellent schools of JCPS, in Eastern and Height and Crosby, and a couple of miles away from one of the, I guess, the largest new public park in America, the Parklands of Floyd's Fork, with unlimited recreational opportunities. What a statement this is to our city, actually to the nation. Like CHRISTIE, what you said, this is what it should look like. And you know, so many great partners. It's a privilege to be part of the team. I think all of us know that we have to work together to make things happen, and we tend to play above our weight. The only way we can do that is if we do work to make things happen as a team. So it's a privilege and an honor to be part of this team and to be engaged in this, I think, this landmark project. I want to pay particular attention to my teammates, Deborah Williams, who's here with us today, and you all know Deborah. She's a legend. She's a young legend in this community. And then Ryan Edwards. Ryan is he's in another state today. He wished he could be here today, but he's been working on this project along with Tanya Choi for over 3 years, and to put together $11 million in equity and another $11 million in debt financing for infrastructure and preliminary costs was a great work by my teammates, and a great honor to be part of this project. So thank you for attending and being part of this celebration, and have a great day today. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chuck. Next, we'd like to have TRACY THURSTON with Kentucky Housing Corporation come up and say a few words.
Good morning. Well, Tammy, I have you beat. We are going to be with HPI at this development for 30 years, as they have ensured affordability for a 30-year period as part of the tax credit allocation. Kentucky Housing Corporation is the administrator of the state low-income housing tax credit, and I have to say it's one of the most valuable resources we have to build affordable housing and preserve affordable housing in the Commonwealth. Middletown Apartments is the exact example of what we're trying to produce with these credits. It's a beautiful facility, but it's also in an area of opportunity. Everyone has said before, there's so many resources and amenities around. The residents really have so many opportunities by residing here. The tax credits are valuable, but it can't be done without the many partners that are here today. So Kentucky Housing Corporation would like to congratulate and thank the partners for their resources and their expertise that they brought to this, and especially congratulations to the future residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And last but definitely not least is our local mayor, Fischer. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? We're surviving the heat so far. Well, I'll be brief here. Look, I just believe, as you all hear, work on projects like this, everybody deserves a decent place to live. And if you haven't had that before, maybe you don't appreciate that, or if you don't know somebody that's in that challenge. But it's just hard to have your life and your act together if you don't know where you're going to sleep at night, not just for adults and their jobs, but think about kids and getting their homework and moving all around. So one of the primary priorities of my administration has been to advance on our need for affordable housing. We've been able to do that with our trust fund at Louisville Cares. You've heard many of these things. So we've been able to put our money where our mouth is with over $45 million or so far. But the reality is we need a lot more. Okay, there's about need for 60,000 additional affordable housing units in the community. Think about the scope of that number. And it's not just a Louisville problem. It's a national problem as well. So the work we're doing here as a partnership is really great. But let's keep advocating for more, not just at the local level, but at the state level and the federal level as well. Affordable housing has been defunded 90% from its peak in the 1980s in America, as well as mental health behavioral assistance. So when you see homeless people on the streets of our city and people scratch their head and say, why is this happening? Well, because of the numbers and because of the decisions that people have made that we've elected. Okay, so we've got to hold our elected officials to a higher standard on the basics of life. And I think we can all agree that housing is one of the basics of life. And as a country, we're rich enough to make sure that everybody has a decent and affordable place to live. That's why projects like this are so important. And the teamwork that Andrew and HPI has pulled together with everybody, I won't thank everybody again, but thank each and every one of y'all, is so critical. These projects are tough to finance, to pull together. PNC knows that. You guys stand up. CUB does it all the time. Kentucky Housing does it. It just really takes a big village to get projects like this together. The Duff family, I guess those are your grandkids that are here with you. You know, what a tremendous legacy for you and your family to help make something like this happen. So this is something that for generations to come, your family will be proud of. So thank you. Last, there's more work to do. Next Thursday, we're hosting 2 events to educate residents, nonprofits, and affordable housing developers and others about a community land trust that we'll be developing. And these trusts are going to help us increase long-term housing affordability here in Louisville and also help residents build wealth through home ownership. That's how most of us have built our initial wealth. It's important that everybody has access to being able to buy a home. It's super critical to an equitable future for our city. That's how cities progress, when everybody feels connected to a bright and hopeful future, and home ownership is an important part of that. So you can expect to see us continue to emphasize the importance of affordable housing, to work with partners. Our Metro Council obviously has got to be full support for all this to happen. I appreciate their support on this. Mayor Chapman here in Middletown has been a big partner on this project as well. I'm sorry he couldn't be here today, but want to thank him as well. So thanks everybody for a great job, and I look forward to seeing these wonderful new units. Have a safe, cool weekend. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor. For those who may not have had an opportunity to go through some of our units, we do have 3 units open. One on this side, and if you go around the corner, there's 2 units on the other side. So we'll have a 1, 2, and a 3-bedroom apartments available. Please do so, because they are fantastic, and it just really amplifies everything that has been said, that you cannot tell that this is an affordable housing development, and that's the way we wanted it to be. We'll conclude this part of the presentation, if we can meet the speakers, and to move over to the ribbon cutting. We'll do the ceremonial piece, and we'll thank everybody. Thank you so much. All right.